Hi, it's me, Rachel, and I'm back again. Let's see, it's been 2 weeks since the last time I made a video. I'm a big fat liar because when I first started doing these, I had said I couldn't commit to a schedule, but I'm finding that the every 2 week schedule is kind of nice. That way I don't have too much to catch up on and too much to show, and it's a little break from the dyeing. It's kind of fun. It's like having a delayed conversation, right? I talk to the camera and then wait for all the responses, which I do read. I haven't been as good at commenting on the YouTube comments as I was, just because I'm busy, but I read them all and try to comment if I have anything interesting to say. It's a nice break. So I think I'm gonna try and stick to the every 2 weeks, and every once in a while it'll be different. Actually, I'll probably do in a week from now. Next week the kids are in school, and then the week after that is spring break. So spring break, we don't go anywhere or do anything, but my son will be here, and I know he'll probably, they need rides places, and they don't need to be stuck in the house the whole week. So probably some of my work days will be broken up, taking them places, and, maybe go out to lunch or a movie or something one day. So I might do another video in a week, and that way I can not have a 3-week gap, but then maybe have an update. I was hoping for this video that I would have all my market stuff, and I have not gotten most of it, which is fine. I mean, I'm the last one to complain about waiting for stuff from shops. Everybody's busy. I got a little bit, so I'll show you a little bit. Then I had to kind of scramble to think of, because I kind of thought in my mind, last week was 2 weeks ago, so it was the beginning of market, and I had a ton of pre-orders. So I thought, 2 weeks, I'll probably have a lot of it. My next video will kind of be like market haul and plans and things from that I want to start, but now I don't have most of it. So I had to readjust, and this morning just grabbed some stuff to show you. So let's see. It's always hard to know where to start all of this. What to start, how to start the video and how to end the video is kind of like a challenge. The middle's kind of fun because I'm just talking about stitching. Okay, so I am going to start with shop updates. And this one could be long. If you're not a customer, though, some of this still could be interesting because I'm going to show some charts. Okay, I am very busy. I still have orders from January that I'm working on. The end of January, especially the 23rd, 24th, 25th, right in there, I had a super, super heavy order load. So, I have, okay, I don't even know where to go with it. I really, every time I say this, I need to write notes, but we're going to wing it, and hopefully I'll get everything out. I have a ton of stuff from those orders dyed and ready. It's ironed. It needs to be cut and packaged and all this, which is a majority of what I'm going to be doing this weekend. I put on my Instagram that I'm only going to ship on Fridays, and that's the only day that I'm guaranteeing. But like this week, well, I did have to take a couple things yesterday. Anyway, just because the packages get so big, I may end up going more than that, but I'm only guaranteeing on Friday. So if you're calling, if you're emailing and you want to check on where you are in your order, most people that check on it, they are the older orders, and they are usually very close to being done. They're usually done and just waiting to get to the post office or at some level of doneness. I have a ton. I mean, I have a monster box of orders that are 99.9% finished. They're just waiting on a color. So I'm hoping that this weekend, with a lot of the ironing and cutting and all of that stuff, I'm going to have a monster bundle going out on Monday. But I will be posting on my Instagram that my only ship day is Friday. So if you want to check on an older order, you're more than welcome to, but maybe hold off until, you know, like Monday or over the weekend, because I'm going to be sending out a lot of, what do you call it, tracking emails. So, you know, and sometimes it takes me a minute to figure out, are you in my pile? I mean, I can look up your order online, but, and I do remember names of, you know, the ones that I'm working on. So a lot of times I know off the top of my head, but sometimes not. So if you're going to check on your order, there's going to be a lot happening in the next few days. So I did have a question, which I kind of wanted to say here. It was not a complaint, but it was just sort of a clarification. I had a customer send me a message, very nice, and she was kind of confused because I put my updates on Instagram, and I had said at one point I was working on January and February orders, and she had a question, why would I be working on any February orders when there's still January orders waiting? So I explained it to her, and she was like, oh yeah, I kind of figured that, but you know, I just kind of wanted clarification. I explained to her kind of one of the ways that it works is I do colors. When I'm dyeing, I do batches of colors. Some colors come up in my rotation a lot more often because of the level of orders I get for that color. So like Dirty Teacup is probably my best seller. I have so many orders for Dirty Teacup that it can be a few days of dyeing Dirty Teacup to get maybe just a few weeks of orders done. So let's just say, for example, let's say I've pulled all the orders for the oldest 2 weeks, and let's say there was 30 yards of 40 count Dirty Teacup. So I dye 40 or 50 yards, let's say, ahead of what I know I need for a few weeks. So when I'm packing orders, your order may have Dirty Teacup and you may have been a January 1st order, let's say. Once I filled all my oldest, I go forward in the order and throw in any Dirty Teacup. Some of them, that might be their only piece. So let's say someone ordered something February 1st and they had a quarter cut of 40 count Dirty Teacup. Well, that's ready to go. So it goes out the door. Your order on January 1st might have had Dirty Teacup, a little Steinbeck, a little this. So you're waiting on me to get to those batches of colors before your order is finished and out the door. So certainly, I hope that makes sense. I hope I explained it right. So that's why sometimes newer orders will go out before one that's kind of older and just hanging out there because you're waiting for your color and count. But I always I dye above what I know my older orders require, if that makes sense. So that's why a lot of times the dates will get mixed up and different dates will be going out. I hope that made sense, right? So it's not that things aren't in order, but it goes by colors and by how I have kind of like my dye schedule. So certainly orders that are big with lots of colors, or you may have a color that doesn't come up in the rotation as often. There's a few colors that, you know, I get regular orders, but not large amounts, like a Pickwick or Ticonderoga. Those are really specific. They're not neutrals. People do order them. They come up, but those don't come up in the rotation quite as often. So you may have had Dirty Teacup and Ticonderoga. Yours might just sit there a little bit because you're waiting for me to get to that one color to finish off your order. So that's kind of the way I do it. And that's why certainly some orders sit there longer. I hope that made sense. I feel like I just really rambled, but whatever. So yeah. So that's why sometimes I will say, oh, I'm working on this or that, or you may have a couple of orders placed, and I've had this happen before too. You may have an order you placed in January and one in February, and your February one ships first. That's just because maybe the January one, I'm waiting on a color or a count. There's definitely still supply chain issues. Keep watching my Instagram. They are still out of 32 count. The distributors are out of 40 count. I don't know. I am going to be running out of 40 count at some point, possibly. I'm not sure. I still have some stock here. I'm still dyeing it. Okay, so from talking to distributors, here's the way this works. Zweigart only gives the distributor, so many wholesale accounts per country. So I can't order directly from Zweigart. I have to go through a distributor. The distributor gets an order, are supposed to get an order from Zweigart once a month. Zweigart's been delayed, and they have been sending orders about every 6 or 7 weeks rather than every 4 weeks. What the distributors told me is when they place the order, and some distributors actually order for other distributors. So some of these places where we can get our base linen, they're actually all kind of going to 1 or 2 places and then getting distributed to distributors who distribute it to us. When they place their order with Zweigart doesn't always send their full order, right? And they don't know what they're getting. So, the volume, I have no idea what their volume is. So let's say they order 500 bolts of 40 count white Zweigart. They might only get 150. They might get, and then they're waiting again another 4 to 7 weeks to get their next batch. So it's not even that the distributors aren't keeping enough or ordering enough. Really, a lot of the issue is with Zweigart and shipping and getting stuff over here and staff issues and, whatever's going on in Germany. So when the distributors have to wait, I have to wait. That being said, I know that they are waiting on an order that is supposed to arrive at the end of March. What'll be in it? Nobody knows. So I may have enough, like 40 count, to get through to when my next Zweigart order of 40 count is supposed to come, or when I can order more. But there may be some orders, like February, March orders that are waiting a little longer if you have 40 count. And 32 count, they got some, I don't know what I told you, they got some December, and it was gone. They didn't get enough, so it was gone really quick, and I only got a certain amount of it, and that's why I have not added 32 count back into my shop unless it's a color that I already have or am able to do. So, because I do have a little bit of 32 count still from my last order. So, there's issues, and that's an issue with me filling orders with shops too. So there's a lot of shops that have been waiting on orders, and I can send partials, but I may just not have, if you were a shop that wanted a heavy amount of 32 and 40 mixed in there, I can't really fill them yet. So they've kind of just been sitting there a little bit. So who knows how long this will last. Right now I'm good. Orders aren't waiting because of base fabric. Right now, orders are waiting because of volume, and there's not much I can do about it. So, yeah, I've just rambled on. Now, here's the other fun shop part that I'm going to go into. I hope you all have your coffee. Okay, so last time I talked about having kits, and I'm waiting on some threads. So I showed you Wendy from the Heart Needle Art, 2 charts where she used my linen that I'm going to kit up. One of them I'm going to kit with, should have called for Steinbeck. That will only be the chart and linen available on that one. It was a sampler. And then she had a floral one that said, Remember Me. I showed you last time, so I didn't pull them. That one is Ombrea. The linen is dyed for that, and I'm waiting for, I'm going to kit up it called for NPI. So I ordered that. I think that might come today or tomorrow. So those will go on my website. I'm hoping in the next few days. Either tonight I may list some, I may do some stuff Sunday night. I'm not sure. I'll post on my Instagram when I have some kits listed. So those will be going up. And then I also said that I was going to do some sort of like curated kits, right? Just things that I like, that I have a substitution for the called for linen, or I have a linen that I think would look good. And so I do have a couple, and two of them they definitely will be. The From the Heart needle art ones may not go on till a little later because, like I said, I'm waiting on thread. Two of them, I have the linen dyed. On a side note, I have not taken time out to dye these separately from customer orders. What I did was filter them in with my customer orders that I was dyeing. So I picked a couple charts, newer charts that I've kitted up. God, I'm in such a rambling mode today. Now I'm starting out with a small amount of kits that I'm going to put on there, and I'm not going to do every count. I'm not going to offer every count, but you can definitely go in there and see what color I call for a chart. And you can always buy the chart and your own count of linen separately. But the ones that I have kitted and ready to go will probably be, definitely these are going to be 36, because right now that is the most base fabric that I have that I was able to dye and set aside for kits. But if I run out, I just don't want to have a ton of stock on hand. So I've done a small number of kits. Yeah, and if they run out, just check back, because when they run out, I'll immediately just order more and whatever. So the first one that I will be listing, now I'm going to take this out of the bag because this actually, one of these charts is mine. Okay, so the first one I decided to kit as sort of, I think I'll put it in under like curated kits and charts by Needle and Flax. So these don't have called for needle and flax linen, but they're just ones that I picked that I want to do and thought would be fun to kit up, and that I've also had questions about. So the first one that I'm kitting is Mary Wigglesworth. Okay, so these will be some kits in my shop. I kitted them with DMC. So, not silk, DMC. I love DMC. Even though I said I probably wouldn't offer DMC because it's so easy to get, I thought, you know, for these kits, I'll throw that together, because then, I mean, who can't use more DMC? And it's not expensive, so might as well. So this one actually called for, I think it called for the Tabby Cat linen. Tabby Cat. Oh, God. It's so hard when I'm looking at this to see. Yes, Creme Brulee by Tabby Cat Linens. God, now my glasses are crooked. So what I'm kitting it with is 90s Nirvana, which is very similar. It's kind of an antique-y white cream base with lots of splotchy stuff on it. So that pattern is super cute. This one, if you're not into that splotchy stuff, I think Dirty Teacup would look really good with all of these reds and greens. And it's not terribly big. I think this one, I figured, could be kitted with, yeah, this will be kitted with a fat quarter. So super cute. So I'm going to have some of those kits listed hopefully by Sunday night, maybe earlier. That's something I'll do after like in the evenings when I'm not ironing and dyeing and all of that stuff. So that one's cute, a cute chart. And another new chart that I bought, this one I was really excited to get. I don't know if you guys have seen this chart, but Little House Needleworks just released a reproduction sampler. And this one, you know, I've actually had this chart for a few weeks. I got it as soon as it came out, and I had to wait to get the threads because I just wasn't sure how this, what fabric, I didn't know what they called for. So this is the Anne Goodall Sampler. And the picture on the front is the antique. You can see there's like, you know, bleeding and splotching and all of this stuff. But I love this sampler. I love the two houses. It's got a honeysuckle border. It's cute, and it is a reproduction. So I wasn't sure before the pattern came out if they would have a stitched model of it, and they don't. She's just showing the antique. And it calls for, of course, Little House Needleworks is also Classic Colorworks. So, of course, it's all Classic Colorworks. She doesn't have a DMC. There's no DMC conversion on the chart. Not that you can't do it. There's plenty of conversions out there. And it's big. It is... Okay, so her fabric, she suggested 36 count straw from Weeks Dye Works. And she has information here for 36 count stitchers and 32 count stitchers. The stitch count is 306 by 247. So this is definitely going to be a fat half. Now I'm kitting it for 36. For 32 count, you actually need more threads. You need more skeins of threads. So I'm going to kit this for 36. Eventually I could kit it for 40, but I don't have enough 40 count to kit right now. So, okay, so I decided to kit it with, okay. Oh, I'm so scatterbrained. From the chart, she picked the colors from the front. So basically what you see here, all these faded browns and golds and stuff, that is the colors that it is kitted for. Or charted on. Kitted, charted, whatever. Oh, shoot. Okay. So here, I have them on a ring. So these are the colors. Okay, so it's like golds, greens, browns. And that's what was rough because there's not a lot of color in it. I think with a creamy linen, it would just blend in too much. I think the houses, if I looked right, I think Ye Olde Gold is a lot of the border. And I think the houses, it's been a little while since I was looking at it. The houses might be gingerbread. Okay, so some of these, this is for 30, these are the threads for 36 count, and some of these colors take 2 skeins. For a lower count linen, lower count linen, you need even more because it's big. So there's just a little red and a little, let's see, what's the red? The red is used brick. And the bluish color, well, it's not blue, it's greenish blue, camouflage. Okay, see, now I'm rambling. So the color I picked that I thought looked best, I held these against all my linens. The one that I think looks best is Alcott. Can't tell the true color, but they do really, it really pops on Alcott. All the colors. Ye Olde Gold blends a little bit into the fat, but it does stand out. It's not, when you put one thread against it, it will show up. But, you know, the chart, it kind of is supposed to look, it's not a real prominent border. Really, the big thing is that alphabet in the houses. So I think this will be pretty. This will be kitted up on Alcott. The only color that Classic Colorworks was out of was Eggshell. So I can list, I have enough thread to list some kits, but it may be missing that color, which I think Eggshell is like DMC Ecru. If it's missing anything, it'll be notated, and I will probably, when I list these, let you know what the stitch count is, and maybe even called for colors, and then that way you can decide whether you actually want a thread pack or not. Because some of you may already have a lot of these colors. But I thought, you know, threads these days is very much like the linen. Sometimes they're hard to get. There's a long wait from the dyers, you know, supply chain issues. So I thought, I might as well try and get the threads if I can. And then for those of you that either have old dye lots or don't have them all, you can get them from me. So another thing that I am going to be, it's not going to be up anytime, or I don't know when it'll be up, but another thing I'm going to put on my website is, okay, so I will have kits of patterns that call for my linen. I'm still waiting on, I don't have copies of any of the Scarlet House charts or Kathy Barrick. I haven't gotten any of those yet. So I don't even know what threads, I have no idea. I have no idea what threads to pull, what threads I know nothing about them other than they used my linen and I'm waiting on the charts, which is fine. So when I get those, I'm probably going to have 2 Scarlet House charts for market that I'm going to kit. One of them, the called for linen, was mine, and the other one, I think I'm going to kit up that Janet Barr sampler because I think that would look really great in Dirty Teacup. And then Kathy Barrick's charts. I know she has hers called for Thornfield and Steinbeck. Again, they're probably NPIs because she usually, I think it's NPI that she always uses. So those will be coming soon. But another thing that I will be selling, I keep bending down, but I did sign up for an account for Kohana scissors. So they are all out of stock. The distributor's out of stock of these, but as soon as they get them in, I will carry the Kohanas and some other scissors. The other things besides kits that I wanted to sell was needlework tools, hoops and threads and needles and stuff like that. So these are fantastic scissors. They're a little pricey. They're, you know, they're a fancy scissor. I mean, look at the tassel, you know, it's fancy. But I will be selling these. So right now they do have, they have the little snips and they have some other stuff in stock, but they don't have any embroidery scissors. And if you've looked for shops carrying these right now, most places are out of them. There's a few I've seen. I was looking online and there is a few shops that have them. And some of the shops that have them are charging more than the suggested retail, probably because not that many shops carry them. So these are fantastic scissors, well worth the money. And if you are going to ever, I'll announce that on Instagram too when I'm able to get these. But I did sign up to sell those. So 28 minutes. I talked for 28 minutes about shop stuff, and I know I forgot stuff. All right. So now I'm going to show you what I was working on. We're done with the business. I'm sure there'll be more updates on next week when I do a video. Hopefully with some market stuff. Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't matter. Okay, so what did I work on? Oh, okay. Well, let's see. So my birthday, last time before I was waiting for my birthday, I did get some stitching time. I did take the day off. I have to say, I absolutely hated it. I now realize what I'm going to do is I'm going to take half days off because it drove me nuts trying to, now I was excited to get some stitching done. I was talking to some friends on Instagram. I'm like, I can't believe it. I'm actually stitching. I started to binge watch 1883, which I have finished, which is the prequel, one of the prequel stories to Yellowstone. It was excellent. So, you know, it was nice to sit down. I did get some stitching time, but I was just very unrelaxed knowing I had so much work sitting. Like it was just a major, it was not that relaxing. And I was very antsy and I couldn't focus on what I wanted to stitch on. And so I think from now on, I'm going to maybe, the only reason I'll take full days off is if I'm actually like leaving the house or having to do something. I did get, my 17-year-old is a huge Beatles fan, huge. And she's been begging me, she really wanted to see Paul McCartney. So in May, I bought us tickets in North Carolina and we got tickets to go see Paul McCartney. So like, I know those days, you know, I'm gonna have to take some days off. I'm gonna have to take a weekend off there, and that won't bother me because I'm gonna be busy doing things. But to just like sit in my living room and stitch and try to relax, I could not relax with knowing that all this work was waiting. So I'm gonna start taking half days because I feel like it's okay. Days where I run errands and I, you know, work a bit in the morning and get some stuff done, I feel a little more accomplished. Like, okay, now I can go and get my groceries, or now I can go and go to this appointment. So, yeah, I think that's going to be sort of my days off now. I think I'm going to keep the 7 days, but days where I want time off, I'm just going to, you know, get some things done in the morning and call it off early. And I think that mentally that'll work better for me. So I jumped around a lot on my birthday. Wasn't really sure what I wanted to work on. I worked a little bit on my Houses of Hawk Run Hollow background in the last couple weeks, but I'm not going to show you because it's not worth it. So one of the things I had picked up that I worked a little bit on was Stacy Nash Butternut Tavern, which I started this a long time ago, and I know I've shown it before. And this one I'm stitching on Dirty Teacup. And I think, ooh, this is 40 count. So it's a lot bigger than it looks in the picture. I've seen some people do a pillow, and I've seen some people frame it. I don't know what I'll do with it, but I love the colors. It's kind of fall colors, but year round, I think those are my favorite kind of colors to work on. So I did a little bit of that. I think, mostly I think I worked on an alphabet. Not a lot, but that's a fun one. And then I picked up this. Almost isn't worth showing either because I'm just not getting enough done. You're not going to see a lot of progress. Kezia Turnock by Sassy Jacks. Sassafras Samplers. Sassy Jacks. So I'm doing this on 40 count Alcott, and let's see. I worked a little on the dress and the border and just kind of started this little stump of grass she's sitting on. So not much. Not much done on that. So then I was like, oh, I want to do a new start, you know, like a birthday start. So I remember when I started it and whatever. So I decided to start, which again, I didn't get much done on. I also jumped from this to, this is all in one day. This is all like March 7th. Because it was like I had massive ADD. It was like I only had a certain period of time, and I have so much stuff that I want to work on, and I don't get a lot of stitching time. And I was like, oh, I'll work a little on this. Oh, I'll work a little on that. And then it just kind of screwed up my whole day. Whatever. So I decided on a whim, because I had that morning, I was like, I want to do a new start, but I don't want to like spend the time to put stuff together. So I just grabbed something that was kitted. So I started the Mary Argent Sampler by Needlework Press. This was a country sampler stitch along. This pattern has not been released, you know, in general release yet. Country Sampler could have copies of this. If you really want it, you could probably call and find out if that's something that they still have. So it was a kit from them. And the kit came with, this might be 36 count. 36 count straw by Weeks Dye Works. Yeah. So it's on 36 count. I actually really liked this. I only did a little tiny bit. I love the combination of the pinks and browns on this linen is very pretty. It was very fun. And let's see. I don't know if that's the stitched model. This might be the stitched model. But, you know, there's a lot of cramming in of the motifs, which I like, especially for someone that jumps around, because I have to have a point to jump off from and know, you know. So I like this one because there's a lot of motifs crammed into it. And, you know, when you get a little time to work on something, if you have little motifs everywhere, you kind of feel like you accomplished something when you get one done. If you don't have a lot of time. So, and it's over dyed. I think it's all Weeks. Yeah, it's all Weeks Dye Works threads. And this one also came in its own fancy project bag. So, that's all I worked on. Oh, no, it's not all I worked on. Okay, so I was jumping around. This is the one I've been working on the most. So I did that, and then I was like, I'm not feeling it, whatever. So I don't know if it was that day or later that week. So basically this is what I've been working on since my birthday. I've shown you a couple times, I did the Heritage Sampler by Plum Street. And right after I finished that, I wasn't in the mood to fully stitch the second pattern in that series, which is a new constellation. But I wanted to put a few stitches in it and start it. So after I finished that, I think I finished it in 2020? I don't know. Anyway, when I finished that, I picked this up and just did like one flower just so that I had it started. And then I put it away because I didn't really want to work on the same style of piece right in a row. I knew I'd get burnt out. But I've been in the mood for Plum Street. All of those market releases she did, I'm really excited to get those. I bought them all. I bought them all except for the Animal Stack one, I think. So I decided to pull out a new constellation. And I've been working on that. So again, I like these colors. I'm doing this on 40 count Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart. And this is fun. The Heritage Sampler was very fun. This one's very fun. I kind of like that it's different colors. You know, each one kind of tells a story. The first one was the story of the American flag and how that came to be. And this is the story of Betsy Ross. And I don't know, I kind of like it. And then I have the other one. Let's see. So the third pattern, I have it here, I'll show you, is the Equality Sampler. And this one's shows like the suffragette, women's right to vote movement and story. And this one will be fun too. Those strawberries in that border, I can't wait to do those. So I think I'm doing these all in Vintage Country Mocha. I'm doing them all on 40 count because I want them all to be framed the same and all the same size. So I might do Vintage Country Mocha on all three. I'm not sure. And these I am doing I'm not doing them in DMC. These are the called for overdyed threads on these. And it's looking good. And I will probably still keep working on that. Okay. Oh, this goes to my chart. Hold on, I gotta put things away. Okay, so this video is gonna take forever. I thought, oh, I don't have anything to show, and now I'm at 40 minutes already. But it's because I blabbed on too much about the work stuff. Sorry about that if you're not into it. Deal with it. Fast forward, do whatever you want to do. Okay, so then haul. Like I said, I ordered my two biggest orders from the two shops that I ordered the most from haven't come yet. So I ended up, the distributors already have some of the market stuff. So I did order some stuff directly from the distributor. And then during market, one of the only things I didn't pre-order, which none of us did, was the Blackbird design books. And the first person I saw post that they had on their website was Fire Poppies. So immediately I ordered the Blackbird designs from Fire Poppies, and those have arrived. So I will show you. I mean, it's not like anybody hasn't seen this. So I got a Heart Remembers, which it's a great book. I think the thing that I am most excited about in here. Now, everybody has wanted these for a long time. The people that didn't collect those. Here's what's funny. I collected them all and I sold them on eBay. I had them and I was like, yeah, so many people want them. I don't remember what they ended up selling for. I just started the bidding low and I was like, hey, if someone gets a deal, whatever. I'm not going to stitch them anytime soon. So I sold them. Didn't regret it one bit. And, you know, now I can if I want to. It's really a cute piece. I don't think I would stitch that on the different fabrics like they did. I think I would do one fabric. But the chart in here that I would like to do for sure is Wildflower Guide. Definitely. Oh, that's so cute. That basket is awesome. And let's see. It's a great book. And I do like A Heart Remembers. Very pretty. I think that one in person is probably like way more wowza than it looks in the picture. So those aren't going to be any of my market starts. I think I'm more excited about this one. And this is Humming of the Bees. And this is, these books are so great. So here's a picture of the antique that they based it off of. So it's kind of really the big element that is the same is the house with the two birds on it. That's the antique. And then that's their interpretation or, you know, taking bits of it. There's not a ton that's copied. The border, I think, is different. Yeah, totally different border. There is not much, but the flavor is the same, and definitely the house is the same. So I really like that. I think I'm going to do that. That's a possibility because, you know, we all do these videos in January about the yearly plans, and then things like this come up, like Market and Galleria and Needlework Expo, and then, you know, new releases come out and plans change. So I think probably a couple times this year I will do a new, this is what's on my radar for the year, because some of those that I showed in January are already off the list because I know that some of these market pieces are going to replace them. Okay, so let's see. Oh, and then I watched Teresa Kogut's video after market, which was a great video. She kind of did a recap of, you know, everything she saw and did and all this stuff. And one of her releases that I don't think she did on the video before market, it was kind of like a surprise market exclusive. And she showed it on this last video, so go watch her, was Love is the Key. Now, this is not normally something, okay, I think it's cute, but it's not necessarily something that I would be like really jumping at getting. I did order a bunch of her other patterns. I don't have them yet. But when she showed, it was sort of like half stitched. And she showed it on her video after market. You have to go watch. The color, it is so cute and it's big. And as soon as I saw it on the video, I ordered this, and the only place I could find it was Fat Quarter Shop. At that moment, I'm sure other shops have it uploaded and stuff now. It is super cute. And I thought, you know, this is kind of a cute seasonal one. It's kind of big. Because this could take you like Valentine's Day through the spring. It might be cute hanging or on an easel or something somewhere as a seasonal decor type thing. But the picture doesn't do it justice. Even though her model is not fully stitched yet, you gotta go watch that video because it is super, it was cute enough to make me get online and order this chart when I already had plenty of charts coming. So I ordered from Fat Quarter Shop, and you know, I can't just order one thing. So the other things I ordered from there were, now I'm not normally this kind of like tchotchke kind of girl, needlework tchotchke, but I don't know, I felt tchotchke-ish that day. Rachel loves tchotchke. So I got these little charms. These are Lori Holt, you know, to put on your project bag. Now, they don't work well on a Ziploc project bag, but I do have real project bags too. So, and they'd be cute, like even as a keychain. Hook it on your keys. I had to get the covered wagon. I mean, come on. Little House on the Prairie is like one of my favorite things of all time. And then one thing that I had seen and I just have never ordered, I always have to have reading glasses. And I don't use magnification when I stitch. I just up the reading glass magnification. So I don't like, once in a while I'll use a magnifier, but I don't really like pull my magnifier over my work and work on it. It kind of makes me sick. So I just kick up the reading glasses when I'm doing over one, or if I'm working on a fabric that I'm having trouble with. And Lori Holt has some reading glasses, and I've seen them and I thought they were really cute. And I was like, man, I don't know. The thing is, okay, so these are just reading glasses that are smudgy, and they're always with me, always on my head. But I tend to like the sort of like half glasses, right? Because I'm always watching TV, or, you know, I want to do the old lady look out over. And these are like full glasses. So I was like, I don't know. But since I was ordering that pattern, I thought, well, let's try them. And they work well. So I got I need the reading glasses to know what I got. They're different patterns depending on the different diopter you're getting. So I got a +4, and they come in this cute Riley Blake fabric. And then each set of glasses is different. How do I have something on these glasses already? It looks, okay, it looks like I have peanut butter on these, and I wasn't eating peanut butter. Could be though. Give my dogs peanut butter. Okay. So these are cute little gingham, blue gingham. So each you know, if you get 4 diopters, it's a different pattern of frame. God, how are these? I literally just got these 2 days ago. And I think last night's the first time I put them on. So they're kind of fun. I can look out over them, even though they're a full glass. I can look out over them just fine. They're a lot heavier. I'm not used to that part of it. But I kind of like them. And I think they had other strengths available. I might go in and buy more because I love the bag. It's got now this bag, okay, this little eyeglass case, does this not remind you of like a house coat that an older woman would wear with the snap front? It's like a house coat pattern. I could totally see it with like mother of pearl snaps, you know? My mother-in-law wears a house coat, and my mom does now too. They like to be aired out during the day and wear that when they're not going anywhere. Okay, so this one has this cute pattern on it. And this one I would probably use more. This is a +250, I think. See? God, this is clear. That one, the +4 was blurry for me because it's just way too strong, but this one's like nice. So yeah, I might get some of the other, you know, like there's a yellow one. They're all different colors and stuff, which who cares? But they are super cute. And I am digging this house coat pattern. I love it. So cool. So I like those, and how easy to throw those in your purse with this cute, easy little case. So the other thing that I got, now this I got, okay, so all the rest of these came from the distributor. I didn't order it from any shops. This one, of course, I had to have. A lot of people have shown it. I think it's probably kind of one of the stars at market. And this is, I Had a Father Kind and True, Alice Clark, 1844, by Cross Stitch Antiques. Whoop. Now I already did go and get all the DMC. My project bag. I did get all the DMC. It's huge, so I'm not starting it anytime soon. But if I didn't have so much going on, this probably would be my first start. The called for is DMC, so that's easy and fun. Let's see, Kathleen got it from an auction dealer in Yorkshire, England. She doesn't really know much about the original stitcher. I think I've said it before. If you haven't ordered cross stitch antique charts, they are very well done. She usually has the picture of the antique. So kind of like a lot of other designers like GGR or even like that Little House Needleworks one. The stitched version of it is going to just knock your socks off. You're looking at usually looking at a worn, an older copy. She might have some of her stitched ones. I think that's the, and see, now I said that and now I'm second guessing myself. That could be the stitch reproduction because that's pretty darn good. But anyway, it's, the photos just don't, basically what I'm trying to say is the photos don't do it justice. But it is a beast. Okay, so her model finish, she does have, I know she has models. I'm just not sure if the photo is the models. Because everybody was talking about her models at market. Okay, so her model, listen to this. It was stitched on 46 count and the finished size was 21.34 by 21.13 on 46. You're gonna need a big hunk of fabric to do this. But I love, I ordered it just based on knowing it was cross stitch antiques and seeing these reds and the colors and stuff. I was like, oh, that's right up my alley. I have to read you the verse because that just sent me over the edge. So the religious verse reads, I had a father kind and true, whose face no more I see. Ye who have father kind to you, a moment think on me. Why should we mourn departed friends or shake at death's alarm? 'Tis but the voice that Jesus sends to call us to his arms. And set the Lord still in my sight, I trust him over all, for he doth stand at my right hand, therefore I shall not fall. Alice Clark, aged 14, 1844. I don't know. That verse brings tears to my eyes. I love it. I love it. So that one will get stitched one day. I doubt it'll get done this year. But man, it calls to me. It calls to me. If it wasn't so big, it probably would be one of my first starts. But I have so many big ones going on right now. That's kind of where I draw the line. I'm not doing tons of big stuff. Okay, so the other ones that I got, I think Shakespeare's Peddler. Teresa knocked it out of the park with her reproductions. I don't even know. Cathart Colquhoun, 1785. It's a Scottish sampler. And oof, it's good. And she's doing a lot of these charts in this booklet form, which I don't know. They're so buttery soft. They're good. Very pretty. This one's great. I'm definitely going to do this one. This one, I think, I just got these yesterday. I kind of feel like this, all my plans could be out the window when I get my other stuff in the mail. But this 2 by Julia, this one with the house, that could be a impulsive start for me. They're not big. They're 2 samplers done by the same girl. And they're cute because they're a totally different style, but they're not totally huge. And I'm a sucker for a house. And I was looking at it and also thinking, I just have to go through and see if I have any of the threads or if I have to. She always has a DMC conversion. Yeah, so I should be able to pull enough of the threads. But, not having a lot of stitching time, what I've been doing with these, and I said before, I'm trying to get to parts where I have fill-in and kind of outlining them. So nights where I have time, where I might be able to work on over one, I'll do that. If I'm just too tired or just have a few minutes, like if I have something like this house outlined, I can go and fill in and really make progress on nights or days where I don't have a lot of stitching time. So that might be a good one, and I'm a sucker for a house. And this one is gorgeous. I gotta take it out. Oh, it's sealed. Oh, I didn't know. I feel like these videos are always such a hot mess. It's just me. Okay. This one is like, again, reds in the house. Beautiful. Again, this looks like the stitched model, but I think in person, this one is probably amazing. And those of you that went to market probably did see all these in person, so. This one calls for a lot of Weeks Dye Works, but she always has a DMC conversion. Oh, and it's called Jane Summers Work, 1831. So I had to have that. Who knows? Some of these could end up being kits. Kits on my website, especially if I start stitching them and I go, oh, this is so good. I may kit these up with some of my linen at some point. And the only other one that I got that kind of like grew on me, just for something kind of different, I got this Manny Dodonna Enchanted Tulip Sewing Set. So I thought that was kind of pretty, the browns, and again, it could be a lot of fill-in. I don't know if I would do all of the little extras, but I love the box. It's very like, it looks like that Pennsylvania folk art type stuff. I don't know, I like it. This isn't on my immediate start, but it was one that I thought I should get, because this is one of those patterns that I would see and probably forget about. You know, it's whatever. It's cute though, it's cute. I wanted to have it in my stash. So that's all the purchases, and what's sad is the market order pre-orders I did are huge. I mean, I spent a lot of money. I'm just gonna say it. I got a lot. I was like, I just want it all. I want it all. So I got a lot of the Brenda Gervais, a lot of the Plum Street, all of the Scarlet House. Hands Across the Sea didn't do it, but then of course this week she released two new samplers. So I just got Mary Wigglesworth, and now there's two more, and again they're red and they're beautiful, and I'm gonna have to get those. I thought, oh well, she's not releasing anything on market, that'll save me a little bit. Nope, she's got two new releases, so I almost can't keep up with them. I'll never stitch them all, never, but I have to have them because I think they're some of my favorites. I got some of the Stacey Nash. One of those I am kitting on my linen, and I'll show you when I get it. So let's see, I can do 10 minutes. Okay, so I wasn't really sure what to show because I didn't have a full market, because I thought my market stash is going to take up a whole video talking about what I'm going to kit it with and what I want to do and kind of going over the patterns. Since I don't have a full stash, I was trying to think, well, what am I going to do? I am going to show you, this is not a Plum Street Samplers chart parade per se, as far as this is my stash, but stitching on the new constellation and then seeing all of the market releases, and those are some of the ones that I'm most excited to get in my hot little hands. I'm kind of in the mood for Plum Street. Now, I've showed you before, I have an American sampler is in the works, and that'll be finished this summer. I just showed it, otherwise I would pull it and show you. I'm starting to itch for a little bit of summery stitching. Things are getting a little warmer. The sun's coming out more here. So I thought, you know, I'm going to pull some of my Plum Streets that are kind of on my radar for the near future. So I'm going to show you those. And I have too many here to show you. I have too many here to show you all of them because I've already wasted too much time blabbing on. This one I'm going to start very, very soon. You know, my summery, I will have a lot of new starts for sort of summer seasonal and patriotic and stuff. And like I said, I'm getting in the mood for that. So this one is my next Plum Street start. I haven't done any of these yet. And I'm going to go out of the box for me. And I am going to do these in the silk. So that is Liberty's Welcome by Plum Street. It's big, but I figured, especially if I'm getting done with American Sampler, that was kind of a heavy stitched one. So I can at least have one heavier stitched Plum Street in the rotation. So 150%, this will be started in the next probably month. Because I'd like to have it going. It may take me a few years to get it done, but I want that one started. So of course her newer ones are on my, I should have taken these out of the bags. Her newer ones are definitely on the radar. This one is a 150% start this year because it's so up my alley. And that's the Gather In. I know I'll be starting this at some point in the summer because I'd like to have it finished by fall. So that one is definite. I showed this before, this Happy Morning. I'm going to leave this in the bag because it's a kit. This was the Country Sampler kit. I really debated whether I wanted to do the light or the dark. If any of you had got the dark one, the threads are different. If you can send me the thread chart for the dark version, I would totally appreciate it because I still haven't decided. I may do this on the dark linen. It's just that, you know, like here, this barn, the roof is gray and stuff. She has different colors called for. So if any of you bought the dark version and can snap a photo of the colors that are on the dark version and message or email it to me, I would totally appreciate that because I haven't decided yet, but I do like this one. And I will probably be doing that. This one is definitely going to probably be started in the fall or closer to Christmas. And that is this Joyous Season. I love that. Anything with a house. This one I've wanted to do for years. I don't know. Hopefully I'll start it this year. And it's Jack's Bash. And that kind of has that Rhode Island sampler styling to it. I guess I could do this. Right? Yeah. Okay. This is nowhere near all of my charts. Where did I put them? They're not all in my lap. Oh no, they're in my basket. God. Okay. Plum Street. Now this one didn't appeal to me when it first came out, but once I got the pattern and kind of started looking at it, I think this would be a fun summer stitch. Flag Folk. You know, it's like patriotic, but with those sheep and thing. I mean, you could leave it out year round. For me, I would probably put it out, you know, through the summer. Yeah, it's really cute. It kind of spoke to me. Now these are in those goofy bags. Well, here, I'll show this one. So this one I think is cute, and I'd like to get some drums done this year. And I think, again, for summer, Mariner's drum with that ship on top and the mermaid, and that might be kind of a fun one to do. This one, 150%. I have been wanting to do this for years. It is getting done. I think I've showed it before. This one will be a start, probably pretty soon. And that is Nantucket Girls Sampler. I have a thing for like New England and I don't know. Maybe it's like early American ancestry that draws me to it. I don't know. I love it. That's 150% start. This one, I don't want to take these out of the bag. Well, the problem is, yet again, I cleared off this area to do my video and I shoved everything on my counters over there, so it looks like a real hillbilly kind of mess over there. I don't need the mess reflected in the plastic. Okay. Brother's Keeper. Or no, Brother's Keeper. Paradise Lost. Brother's Keeper is a different one she has. I definitely would like to do that one. I think this would be a fun stitch. The colors are very pretty. This one's Brother's Keeper. That's why I said that. This is another one I think would be fun. And kind of like the Hawk Run Hollow ones, they're in little squares. It's like the story of Cain and Abel. And so it would be kind of a fun sort of longer project because you could do a square at a time and kind of put it away, but then feel like you are finishing something. And I like the colors in that one too. Oh, I don't know. Did I show this one before? This one I should finish this summer. I don't have a lot of her stuff in progress. Goodness and Plenty. I just started this last year, and I can't remember if I showed this or not. I might have in the fall. So I have one of the pillows done, but they don't take long. So that one I'd like to finish this summer and then get them fully finished so that in the fall I can have a little display. Let's see, 105. I'm going to get through all the stuff I pulled. Why not? If you don't like a long video, who cares? Okay, Plum Street Samplers. I like this again. I pulled this because I thought, well, this will be quick and easy. Betsy's Tart. I have the tart. I've had the tarts. I have a whole stack of tarts. When she released these, I went and bought all these tarts because I thought I would do the whole series, and I did one, and I stitched it on a count that was too big to fit in my tarts. So, but I think this would be really cute on Steinbeck. So I might do that. Some people have stitched this in color too. It's kind of, she has it in sort of the browns and grays with the flag standing out, but I've seen people actually do it like in color, which was really pretty. This is Bless Our Land. Another patriotic that is small. The little rosebuds on it are very similar to some of the ones on what I'm stitching now, the New Constellation. So that could happen. These next two are kind of big, so I don't know. But I really like them. In Friendship. Now, I think I said before, I'm not the kind of friend that like stitches stuff for friends because I think I'm just that selfish. But I love the colors in this. Ooh. And so even though I don't normally go for things that like talk about, you know, friendship and stuff, I love this one. And it's kind of big. It's a lot bigger than it looks. But this looks like a ton of fun to stitch. So that's been on my radar since, that was a Dying to Stitch, like retreat exclusive. And I saw that and was just so jealous. And then of course, patience, you wait, it will come out. And when it did, I was, you know, was really excited to get it. And here it sits, which is how most of our stuff is, right? My early days, this was another exclusive that we had to wait for it to come out. And it's very pretty. It's another one that's big, but it's got fill-in. And right now, I think the pieces with fill-in are kind of calling me because I actually legitimately stand a chance of working on them a lot, you know? Okay, so another one, I've never done a drum. I have a lot of drum patterns. I haven't done a drum. I haven't done strawberries. But My Peaceful Home, I think that is super cute. Springy, summery colors. I could totally see this just being by my stitching spot. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that? That's what it looks like all stitched in a strip, which would also be cute just framed. You don't have to do these as drums. So, got that. And then one other one. I don't know. I've seen it again, much better in person. But again, a big house that I can stitch on is Sampler House 5. It's got a checkerboard house. Let's see, what color is that red? Chili pepper. So it's kind of an orangey red. That's kind of fun. Kind of a salmon-y Not a true red, but that might be fun. I don't know. Okay, so then I also have two little smalls to show you that I've done of Plum Street. This one, okay, see, I didn't grab the charts. I'm not sure if I have the charts. I think this is just Georgia and Martha. And I did it into a little pillow. And I filled it with lizard litter. And this is a big one. I think I did this on 32 count that I had in my stash. I think this is just a 32 count Zweigarten. Not overdyed. It was very fun to stitch. Very fun. So I pulled that out in the summer. And then this one, it wasn't that fun for me to stitch, but I did it. This is Blueskin. Oh, see, now we're going to get the reflection in my dirty kitchen. So I'm... Oh, God. I'll be mortified. Okay. Blueskin. I did this I finished it in December of 2019. And I stitched on 36 count weathered shingles by Weeks Dye Works. That was the called for, I believe. And the horse does not show up really well on it. I had someone send me a photo that is stitching this on my linen on Needle and Flax Delaware Crossing. It's a blue. It looks amazing. And I never would have picked that. I would have thought, oh, that blue is too bright. It just wouldn't go. Oh my gosh, it looks good. The white shows up. The white in the horse shows up. The red cherries on the cherry tree just pop. I mean, it is very pretty. It almost made me want to restitch it. I didn't have fun stitching this horse. It was the horse. And I don't love stitching trees or berry baskets, even though I love having them on the pattern. So this one, it was like when I started and I got real gung-ho on, and then I was kind of bored with stitching it. So it kept getting put away, but I want it on my wall. On 36 count, this is just a Hobby Lobby 5x5 frame. It's one of their standard little frames. I think it's 5x5, and it fits perfect. So if you stitch on 36, you can just go buy a ready-made frame. Because it's another one that's kind of like too big for a pillow. What do you do with it? Because even on 40 count, it would have been rather large. So I framed it. 112. That's good. That's what we got. Okay. I know I'm always forgetting stuff. I'll be back in a week, so I can talk to you again in a week, right? Oh, one thing, if you guys have suggestions for patterns or designers that you want to see me kit, whether you'd only like to see me do new stuff kitted, or if you ever want me to go back and just pick an old pattern that I like or I think would look good on a certain linen of mine, let me know. Like if you say, oh, you should kit these or that. Now I might not listen, but it would be interesting to hear what people say about either designers you'd like to see, whether you only want to see new stuff. You know, eventually it won't be new, right? There's always going to be new stuff coming up. So, but I thought I'd even go back and maybe do some old ones that sometimes I look at a pattern and I go, oh, that'd be perfect on this or on that. And that's kind of what, it was kind of like with Alcott, seeing just when I dyed it and came up with that color, just Ann Dale came into my brain immediately. And that's not even a pattern that was at the front of my radar that I wanted to stitch. But when I was done with that color, I was like, oh, this would be kind of good for Ann Dale. So sometimes I see patterns and that just is what pops in my brain. I have a lot of people ask for color suggestions, which is fine. Once in a while, I don't know the threads that are called for. So I might say, hey, tell me what, I just did that this week. Can you tell me what the colors are? And I'll pull them. I have a full set of DMC, so I can always pull the DMC at least. And put them against my linens and kind of see, usually from a picture I can tell, but you know, those photos are tricky. So I'm working all weekend. I have some stuff to go out today to the post office. It's supposed to be rainy this afternoon and tomorrow. I'm going to be in all weekend. And yeah, watch for a boatload of tracking emails because I have a lot that are very close to going out. They just need to be postaged and packed up and all that stuff. So if you're wondering where your older order is, hang tight, it's coming. They will all get to you. You will get your linen. Just patience is the key in the cross stitch world right now. And I'm working as hard as I can. So that's all I can do. And God, I know I'm forgetting stuff. I don't know. That's it. Again, I never know how to stop this video. Okay, so I'm going to say have a wonderful weekend. I will probably see you next Friday, hopefully with some more haul and maybe some more information. And yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.